welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm going to be working on the PinkFresh Fridays hop. This hop is put on by Joanne Bartel, and she was kind enough to invite me to play along. And I will put information in the description box below telling you how to get involved if you would like to play along as yourself. The only real rule is to use PinkFresh Studios product. You're allowed to add a couple of other things in, such as cardstock, acrylic pieces, such as things from Bramble Fox or other companies, ink sprays, mixed media. You're allowed to add all of those things in. So what I am going to be playing with today is a very old PinkFresh Studios collection called Simple and Sweet. I won a box of pattern paper from piececraftlove.com a couple of years ago, and this collection was in there, and I have yet to cut into it. I think this is the only 4 pieces that I actually have, and I have no embellishments from it at all. So I added in my Keeping It Real titles and the mini alpha just to see if I could have something for titles. I have not decided what photos I'm going to use yet, but I do have an idea of what the layout's going to look like. I don't usually work that way. Usually I pick a photo and then the papers and product and then make a layout. But this time, as I was going through this pattern paper, I was like, I know what I'm going to do with this. So wish me luck as I get some stuff prepared and I go dig through my photos real fast to see what I have printed already. And if I don't have one pre-printed, I'll have to print one. So I'll be back with some decisions made and probably some fussy cutting done, as well as maybe use my Cameo for another piece. And I might even add in some mixed media here. So I'll be back in a few. Bye. So I did decide to use some mixed media, and I decided to play with my Distress ink daubers. I don't play with those very often. I don't know why, but they're in a place now where I can see them, so I've been dragging them out a little bit more often and just playing with them. I think the other reason I don't play with them as much is they kind of smell bad, and I don't really care for that. So I'm just going to put some of this ink on my background, and you really don't have to add water to these because these are already watery enough that you can just put them directly onto the packaging and do the smooshing that way. So I let that background dry, and while it was drying, I did some of the other prepping for this layout. I cut the floral piece into this, what the Cameo called a fancy hexagon. I think it's fancy because the edges are slightly curved in, and I also stitched around it with some gray embroidery floss. The other thing I did was I fussy cut some of the flowers from the black and white printed piece, and I cut out all of those cut-aparts, and I'm just going to use a few of these cut-aparts and make little borders on 3 of the sides of my hexagon. I am trying to let some of the words show on these, and so I'm trying to be very careful about how I get them in there. I only pulled out 6 out of the whole pattern paper to use, but I really like the ones that I chose because they do kind of go with my theme of my layout. And my theme is I had taken a bunch of flowers from our front yard in our house, and I'm just going to feature those. I know that dandelions are technically weeds, but I love dandelions. I always have, and I went ahead and I cut these pictures down from the 3x4 size into 2.5x2, and then I matted them. Now I went and I looked through some of my ephemera that I have for PinkFresh Studios, and I was able to pull out some of this the Days of Splendor collection. I pulled out that little journaling box and the frame from there, but otherwise I'm just mostly using the papers that I pulled for this month and just making those work for my embellishments. And I'm not going to use a whole lot of those flowers, so I didn't cut the full sheet, which means I have some of it left for another layout at another time. And now I'm going to just decide on a title. I am going to be titling this layout, Flowers Are the Best Things, are the best part, and I'm going to use Flowers Are the from the little tiny letters, and best part is coming from the phrase set. So I know I'm not getting those letters on there straight, and I will move them around once I get them laid down, but I'm going to do that off camera when I glue them down, because if you've used these puffy stickers before, you know that they don't stay stuck down, that you do have to glue each and every single one of them, which is why I have almost a full pack of these, because they're kind of tedious to use. I love them, but I hate gluing them down. So as you can see, I am choosing a color for each word, and I'm being particular and trying to get only the colors that I used on this layout. Now I'm going to use the alphas and the phrases to bring out that green, that minty green that I chose in those cut aparts, so that pulls in that color, since those papers, the main papers, didn't actually have the mint in it. So I decided that I didn't really care for that half circle piece that I had fussy cut from another pattern paper another time. I tried again and I just don't like it. So I'm going to add some more of those fussy cut flowers. I do want to thank you for stopping by my channel today. If you liked this video, please click that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you as a subscriber. If you have any questions or comments about what I did on this layout, just drop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, make sure that you check out that description box. There will be all of the creators who are hopping along will be listed down there, and you will just be amazed at what you see this month. Have a great day. Bye.